Hi everyone, welcome to the Get Ready With Me Shop My Stash edition. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you here in a second. Alright, so I'm going to do a face full of Shop My Stash for October. If you hear any noise in the background, my daughter is over on the rocking chair, just enjoying her sweet little self. Let me know if the lighting looks okay. I think it does. I'm actually in front of a window. It's a little bit gloomy today. We got some rain. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the makeup. And I know I said I would update on some things that I talked about last time, which was a low buy, no buy. I'm just going in with some hand sanitizer real quick, because I do have sensitive skin that breaks out very easily, as you can see. So I'm just trying to minimize that. So last time I had talked about the low buy, no buy, and I actually meant to add up everything that I've seen recently that I want to get, just so I know how much money I'm actually saving. Maybe I will do that and insert something in the caption, or if you would be interested in seeing like a video of, you know, what you save by not buying, let me know down in the comments. I would be interested to know what you guys think. What are some releases that you have thought about picking up but haven't, or have? If you have picked them up, how do you like them? I know I've seen a lot of good releases recently. I just, financially, I'm on the low buy, no buy. The only time I will be buying anything is if I run out of something. If you've seen the Shop My Stash, you know I'm not going to run out of anything anytime soon. Maybe with the exception of primer. So, now that's not to say, like, I myself will not be buying anything, but I know my mom has been big on picking up some makeup recently, and she's talked to me about giving me some of the stuff that she doesn't want or doesn't work for her. And then of course my mom is really big on family holidays like Christmas, and you know, she asks everybody for a list of what they want. I typically don't have a list because I would just, you know, buy everything myself. But now, this year, I do. So maybe I will get some of the things that I want. If not, it's completely okay. I have plenty. I am not in need for anything. So now I'm going in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. And, well, no, actually, I'm going to conceal first. I always like to conceal first because if it's too light, the foundation will kind of, that was messy. The foundation will help to bring the color where it's supposed to be. I meant to grab a mirror so I didn't have to look in my finder. I might still do that. So that is where I am for my update. I have paid off 2 medical bills from having our daughter, so that is a really big relief. Not that, you know, medical bills, depending on the type of medical bill, I should say, they do not always count against your credit if it goes into collections. And for some reason, we got 2 separate bills. I had one and then she had one. I had set up a payment plan on mine, and I was waiting to pay mine off to set hers up on a payment plan. But the month before I paid mine off, they sent hers to collection, which actually worked out for me in the long run. You okay? Worked out for me in the long run because when I had called the collections, they settled with me for less. They settled with me for about half. So they settled with me for about half, or exactly half, I think, which, you know, worked for me. I was not mad about it. I immediately took care of it after talking to the guy. And I will say he was super nice. You know, I was gonna set up a payment plan to pay the entire amount. And he was like, wait, let me look at something. And came back and told me, like, we will settle for this amount. And I was like, oh, well, that certainly helps. That made my day. Saved me quite a bit of money. So we got 2 out of many things knocked off the list. And you know, it's one of those situations where you can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, just knowing that there's a plan in place. And I am super excited about October. I don't know about you, but Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. My hair is wet, not greasy. I had to wash my hair. I tried to use the K18 dry shampoo. No. If you are interested in seeing my empty clutters, that will be in it, because that is, for me, I know a lot of people rave about it, but for me that is a horrendous product. I had to wash my hair after using it because whatever is in it gets into the ends of my hair and makes them very dry and makes the end of my hair, like, I can run a brush through it and then immediately it will be knotted back up. And with a little one that likes to already pull hair, I do not need help with knotting my hair up. So we've been sticking to that. Actually, I've been under my spending, which is really nice because then that extra money can go into savings or paying something off, which is really exciting. And this right here is one of the reasons that I made sure to sanitize my hands, because you do not want to be putting germs back inside of your foundation bottle. What's she doing? I know. So everything seems to be going pretty well. I don't know why I put that under my eyes, knowing that the foundation's not supposed to go there. Live and learn, I guess. But I am very excited for Halloween, along with the empties video that will be coming up at some point this month. I also have, if it's not already live, my Halloween palettes. And those are the palettes that I am going to be using this month. There's quite a few. I will say I won't use the ones that are like, they give the feel of Halloween, but maybe not necessarily are Halloween. So, because there are some that are, they kind of give like the feel of it, the vibe, but it's not necessarily like a Halloween release or anything like that. And I know not all scary movies and things like that are, you know, for Halloween, but that's like the time of year that people really like to watch that kind of stuff. I love it year round. I love scary movies, horror movies, anything like that. So I am going to get this blended out and I will be back. Alright, so I did get that blended in, and then I did a little bit with my eyebrows. My lids look a funny shade right now because I haven't put primer on yet, but I will do that before I do eyeshadow. Now I'm going in with the MAC Studio Fix in NC15. This can tend to oxidize on me, So I'm just going in with a light fluffy brush, and I'm going to set my base, especially under the eyes. I know usually you would use like a loose powder or a brightening powder. I don't have any brightening powders. I have that Anastasia Beverly Hills powder, but some pressed powders people actually like better under the eyes, and you won't know unless you try it. So that is what I'm doing. And then I want to set the rest of my makeup. Even though I do have normal to dry skin, I don't like my makeup feeling tacky or like it could slide around. That's just not my preference for my makeup. And while I do like a little bit of glow, it's the glow that I put there that I want. I don't want the natural oils to make me glowy like on my forehead right here. So I'm just going to set it down. Not that I'm going to be going anywhere for it to matter, but it matters to me. So I'm just setting around my nose, and I am like dabbing to help press the powder in instead of swiping. For the Shot My Stash, I didn't put a bronzer in, so I put in the Buttermelt bronzer from NYX. I know I've heard people talk about this being very pigmented, so I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and really try not to oversaturate. I've heard a lot of people love this. I've heard a lot of people don't. Not because of the formula, but just because of pigmentation. So, I got this in Deserve Butter. It's supposed to be light, medium, neutral, which I thought I had cool, so I'm not sure how that happened, but it did. So we are gonna roll with it, which it's really not that bad. I am typically fair, fair to light, cool tone. So I'm just making sure to have, you like all those baby hairs from the postpartum hair loss? They're great. Fabulous. That's my life right now. So I'm dabbing the brush on the back of my hand before I touch my face, just to try to get an even application without going overboard. I like this. This is nice. I feel like it's actually lighter than the Too Faced Chocolate Soufflé Bronzer. Or maybe I'm just using that one too heavy-handed. Or the wrong brush. I could be doing that too. Num num. Num num. So I like to put my bronzer before my blush, just because it typically goes on a wider area. So for blush, I'm gonna go in with the Trick or Treat. See, on my Shot My Stash, this looked really orange, and now it looks more true to color. I think I'm gonna go in with this almost bubblegum pink, and I'm gonna put that on for my blush. And I kind of like to stipple so that it doesn't deposit too much color in one spot. Kind of gives just almost a blurring effect. I really like it. Does anyone find it way easier to do one side than the other? Is that just me? It's like I can't see the same on one side as the other. And it makes it look awkward when you're trying to do your makeup. Alright, so I am quite happy with that. Let's see if you can see a little bit better. And highlighter. I'm gonna go in with the Ghost Face highlighter, and I want to do the, I don't know if you can tell, the white base one. This is kind of a champagne, this is more white. So I'm gonna do, cleaning off my brush real quick. Going to do that. Oof. I probably should not have went as heavy-handed as I did. I forgot how sparkly this was. So I'm going to use the Trick or Treat palette to kind of help tie in the collection. They didn't have a highlighter in that collection. I do want to use that collection for the lips. So here is the color story. It's a very orange to red, and it has a nice black for deepening shade. Kind of matches my dress. So I love oranges. That's my favorite color story. So we can get on into it. I'm going to start with this shade and kind of use it as my blending shade in the crease. If you hear noise in the background, she is now in the floor because she did not want to sit anymore. Now, you can do this different ways. I personally find this easier for myself with blending. You know, I'm not a professional makeup artist, so I don't necessarily feel like I have the skills to always do the best blend. So I'm just doing this the way I find the easiest and feel like looks best on me. I know you'll see a lot of different people do it different ways, and this is the way that I like to do it. Putting the crease shade down first and then the darker color makes it easier for me to go back in and blend it together so that it's not so dark. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hi. Next, I'm going to go in with this shade on the outer portion. Using smaller brushes helps to get more precision where you want to place down each shadow, and also helps to concentrate the color. I know for a while when Glamlight was releasing, look at you, big girl. Look at you, big girl. When Glamlight was releasing back-to-back launches last year, some of the quality was different than others. Some was better, some was not as great. This I definitely feel like is some of the better quality. And then I'm going to go in with that bright orange shade. Or no, I'm going to leave this part of the lid empty because these shimmers are opaque and it will go on top of that really nicely. So I'm just going to deepen up that color with a smaller, more dense brush. And I'm not going with the black, but I'm going to go in with this. And just really, I just want to stamp it and lightly touch around where I want it to blend. Now, I know with this collection, they also released a candle and a lotion. I personally was not the biggest fan of the lotion. I still have the candle. I need to burn it. That's one of the things that, well, I was supposed to stop buying. I ended up buying 2 new candles for the holiday season. It was like amber and saffron because that's like my favorite scent for this time of year. I just went back in with a fluffy blending brush. I didn't put anything else on it. I was just merging those colors together. The line was getting a little bit harsh. What you playing with? What are you playing with? And I think I want to go in with this orange, this nice bright orange. I'm going to put that towards the middle and outer. Trying to make sure I don't get fallout. Yeah, these shimmers are definitely the opaque kind of metallics. They're very, very nice. And I did not spray this either. So I didn't go all the way to the edge, but close. And I am just going to lightly tap to blend to the edge, just so it's uniform. And I'm going to clean this brush off. And I'm going to go in with the paler, kind of pinky orange. And do that like in the middle towards the inner corner. And then I'm going to put this one on the inner corner. All right, and that is what it looks like. I am going to put some of that first orange that I used on the middle of the bottom lash, and then deepen it up with this one. Alright, so that is what it looks like right now, and I'm going to put an orange eyeliner on and my mascara, and I will be right back. Alright, so I did finish up my other eye. I did eyeliner, mascara, and then I did do my lips with the Holly Ho collection. I did use all three. This is the finished look. So I hope you enjoyed this Shop Your Stash, and if you would like to see more, make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all again.